Hey, welcome back to BlockRoots and the YouTube channel. On behalf of Cantor and Clark, I want to say welcome. If you've not yet subscribed to the BlockRoots channel, please go ahead and do that below. Click subscribe, the red button. It's super easy. Then from there, go ahead and comment and engage with our community section. And so by doing so, we do give away $100 to Bitcoin each and every week. We plan to do that again in a couple of days, so make sure that you comment on today's video. And we've got a really good show for you today. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, of course. I want to talk about Ethereum. I want to talk about Tezos and just the performance that it's done. And then where would be a good place to buy back, possibly in Tezos if it does pull back. Now, also, too, I want to look at Bitcoin dominance from there. That has a direct effect on altcoins. And so are altcoins going to continue or will they pull back? I also want to talk about price level that Bitcoin needs to hit in order to be bullish. And so what's going to get me to be bullish? And also, too, if it does pull back, where am I looking to buy? Where am I looking to long as far as putting in my long-term holds with Bitcoin? At what price ranges? So I want to get that to you. And yet, before we do that, I want to go ahead and talk to you why everyone is making the switch over to Phemex Exchange. And that's what you currently see right here is the new platform, Phemex. Now, it's not a new platform. It's actually been around. It's a margin trading with leverage platform, our futures derivatives exchange for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. It's been around since 2019, and Cantor and Clark and I have been using it. Now, we've been trading on Phemex not only just because of the platform itself, but because of the team, and the overall performance and the growth in the past few months has been amazing. So if you have just 2 minutes, I want you to know about Phemex and why you should try it out as far as Bitcoin margin and leverage trading. And just to go ahead and get it out of the way, no, we have not been paid by Phemex in any way. We do have an affiliate link if you want to use Phemex.trade. We'd love to have you support the channel because we want to continue to give you a lot of good free content and trading videos. So with that said, we're very picky about the exchanges that we use. We don't use BitMEX. We won't use Binance Futures or even FTX because of some of the issues with that. We certainly won't touch Deribit at this time. And even Bybit has been limited by its options. And so we're very particular about who we use, and we've been very excited about Phemex and who they are and how they've come to the market, and they're actually taking people from these other platforms and getting traders to join Phemex for the fact that they've got some great features. So I'll go ahead and quickly pinpoint out a couple of good features with Phemex and why we think that they're going to be the next big platform and why people are going to continue to switch over from these other platforms to Phemex. And right, nothing new here as far as the features with Phemex, 100x leverage on BTC, Ethereum, XRP, and rumor is some new altcoins are going to come out. Supposedly Tezos or Link are going to come out soon where you can actually trade futures on those as well. The biggest thing that we're going to talk about today is the transactions per second, less than 1 millisecond latency speed, as well as over 700 million in daily volume. And so when I first heard about Phemex, I actually checked out the exchange, and they only had around 200 million. And I said, okay, guys, I want you guys to continue to grow in your volume. I'm really interested in this exchange because who you are. Coming from a traditional background from Morgan Stanley, I'm super interested, but you need more volume. And so what have they done? They've actually slowly, organically grew their volume over the past few months to where the fact that, okay, I'm interested now, you've got up to almost $700 million a day in daily volume of trading. That's enough for me. I know it's going to have some good liquidity, and so I'm very interested. And so that's a big thing. Now, as far as the speed, you're talking about institutional grade exchanges here because that's super fast and you're not going to get that anywhere else in crypto assets. Even Bybit is around 100,000 transactions per second, which is fast, but it's not near as fast as Phemex, 3 times faster. And so the biggest thing with Phemex that a lot of people like right now is the ability to have sub-accounts, meaning multiple accounts where you can hold multiple positions, both long and short. No other platform can you do this. You have to open up 2 separate accounts and go long and short if you want to hedge for yourself. Not on Phemex, you can actually open up multiple sub-accounts, hold long positions as well as short positions on different sub-accounts all within your one account. That's really attractive for a lot of people to use. And coming from traditional markets, one of the biggest things is security. And so that's why they've developed their own cold wallet system that actually assigns independent deposit addresses to each user to keep assets in cold wallets directly to keep your funds secure. So basically, hacks and all these other things. You don't have to worry about that with Phemex. And that was one of the main concerns when it comes to crypto markets. And whenever you have anybody coming from traditional markets, they want to make sure that security is number one, because not only do they plan to add, and I'll get into this later, do they plan to keep Bitcoin and some of these altcoins for futures market trading, they also plan to add some commodities as well as stocks as well in the future, all in one platform. So security is a big deal. And when it comes to who is behind Phemex overall, you're not going to have a more experienced team than what you see right here. And primarily with Jack Tao, the CEO. Look, I even took the opportunity to reach out to Jack, and we even talked a little bit back and forth, and I even gave feedback about the exchange, and he took it with open arms. And so again, I know with anybody who comes traditional markets, they want to know how they can excel in the crypto trading platform. And you can even see right here that Jack was the head of global development when it came to Morgan Stanley's electronic trading system. So his job for the past decade was basically building out low latency, large scale algorithmic trading platforms such as Phemex for institutions. And so this is what he's been doing. If you want anybody to build an exchange in the crypto markets, this is the person that you want, and this is the team that you want. So again, Jack said it himself for what they're bringing over to the crypto market. And he even said, we're the first exchange to truly bring Wall Street level sophistication to the worldwide crypto derivatives market. Our matching engine, trading engine, and risk engine were 6 months in the making, putting the platform technically on par with NASDAQ. So you're hearing it from Jack himself saying, look, we look to be an institutional grade crypto trading platform for retail people all across the world. That's why I think that you should check out Phemex.trade. If you haven't yet, try it out. Kenner and Clark and I are even going to give away some Bitcoin to one person who actually does deposit. So let us know if you're one of those people. Deposit on there using our link, Phemex.trade. Let us know how it goes, and we want to give back some Bitcoin to one winner. So if you type in Phemex.trade, T-R-A-D, and then click register, what's going to happen is it's going to bring you to this page. You're going to notice that you don't need a VPN. All you have to do, put in your email, put in your password, click continue, then you're going to get an email to verify, and then from there you can go ahead and start trading on Phemex. So again, no need for a VPN at this time. Anybody can actually log in and do this, and so I was able to do that quite simply and easily. But I wanted everybody to know about this prior to talking about Bitcoin in the market, and that's what we're going to do next. Let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin. Now, on the lower time frames, you can already see that Bitcoin is making lower or higher lows and higher highs on the low time frame. So this is good news. We're at 97.35 right here. We do need to break above 9,800 for me to start to feel bullish. We're going to go ahead and look at the monthly chart, the weekly chart as well, but we want to go ahead and show you on the Phemex platform that we're starting to make higher highs on the lower time frames. So going to the monthly chart, right? So back to Trading View here. If we look at the monthly chart, what do you see? I think overall, most people have been quite bullish, but now just with this recent candle, people are starting to get bearish already. People are starting to call 3K and 5K. It's just really getting out of hand, if you ask me. Really, if you want to look for a place to look to long, if you want to look for a place if Bitcoin continues to pull back, here on the monthly chart, go to this monthly support area right here around 82.99 or 8,300. Okay, notice that it matches up quite well. If I were to take these candles and put it right here near the high volume node where it begins, you're going to notice that that's where it begins at around 8,300. Okay, and so that's going to be a place that I think if price continues to break down below 9,300, down to 8,700, and then down, make its way down to 82 to 8,300, that's where it's going to bounce, at least heavily in my opinion. If we go ahead and go to the weekly chart, what do we see? Okay, similar to this, you're going to notice that the weekly chart shows a similar place, which is at around 82.33 as a prime area as far as support. Okay, I talked about this in the last video. It looks really clean right here. Notice the multiple touches here, right? It held as support for a couple of weeks, and then it rejected as resistance. And then after price moved above 8,300, it came back down, retested this 82.33 area, bounced off, and has continued to go up from there. Also, though, really cool, while you use these high volume nodes and volume profile, you're going to notice that price has rejected off this area, right? So we can use these VPVR volume profile visible range as a means to find support and resistance. And I find it even easier are even better than just horizontals. Seeing where candles closed and open, I find this to be more accurate. So again, you're going to notice that price is rejected off that. It came back down and then bounced off the support around 9,300, and is now we're just kind of in between here, between these two high volume nodes. Now, if we break down from here on the high time frames, you're going to notice that we've got not only horizontal support here, right? But we've also got the high volume node around 86 to 8,700. So that's going to work. If price breaks below 9,300, it's going to make its way down between 86 to 87, where it can potentially bounce and go up from there. Or what I do believe that if we do continue to break down, a major place, as we just talked about, is this area. Notice the point of control here, the largest node, the big area of interest is between 7,900 to 8,200. That matches the horizontals, right? And then matches up well with both monthly, weekly horizontals, as well as the high volume nodes here. So I am not worried. If we do break down, again, you can short using Phemex or whatever exchange that you use. If you haven't yet learned how to short, then I encourage you to do so. Use a short, collect Bitcoin as it goes down, and then long it as needed around these high volume nodes. And here's probably a more clear picture on the hourly chart. Here again, you notice that price bounced off the high volume node at that support around 9,300. It has worked its way back up to this area, which is acting as resistance. And again, that's around 9,800. I do want to see price break above 9,800 for us to continue on. If not, basically, if you go on the dailies, right, all we're doing is making lower highs and lower lows, unfortunately, okay? And so you're going to notice it here, 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 and here. We're just going down, okay? And so that is the bearish perspective as far as that goes. A lot of people, too, are also drawing a channel. So here's a channel that everybody seems to be drawing right now. It's quite popular, but again, it bounced off the bottom, up the top, has rejected off the midline of the channel, has made its way down, acted as resistance at the midline, bounced around the bottom of the channel, back up to the channel to the top, and then of course wicked down below kind of as a trap, but has since then wicked below and is now bouncing off the midline of the channel. So if you're using the channel to trade, certainly this would be a short for you. And again, if you're looking at this as resistance as well, around 9,800, that would be confluence for a possible short. But again, price could always, as you know, the well games that big players play is that they like to hunt stops and then move in the other direction. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a wick up and then back down, or if we just drop from here. So for me, we are in a downward channel. We're making lower highs and lower lows. That is bearish. We need to break above 9,800, and I'm not going to be bullish as far as a bias until then, at least neutral until then. Right now, I do lean a little bearish for a slight pullback, but I'm not looking at 5Ks. Gloom and doom, as many people are talking about. Now, as far as the Bitcoin dominance, we did hit the highs around 70%, 71%, back from the all-time high of 2017 in December. We did hit that this past year. Now, notice that whenever you see volume go up, we saw, of course, the sell-off as far as Bitcoin flowing into altcoins. It did bounce off this area that acted as support. I am putting an arrow up here because what we're seeing here is possibly volume decrease. Now, when you see volume decrease, red volume, as selling increases in volume, red volume starts to decrease, that tends to be a reversal that we know some buying, or really for dominance, you see flow of altcoin money go into more Bitcoin. So that's a possibility here. But if we do break this area, if Bitcoin does go below 62 as far as percent for the dominance, we can see altcoins continue to take off. Now, for me, I do believe that a lot of the altcoin cycle has already happened. A lot of people are saying it was alt season. I do believe it was. I mean, a lot of these altcoins did a 4 or 5x. Hedera Hashgraph went up 700%, right? So a lot of these alts did really perform really well in the last couple of months. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bitcoin dominance start to pick up again and then altcoins not perform as well. But the good news is that certain altcoins are still going to perform well. You're looking at Tezos, which has just been amazing, and Chainlink and Ethereum. And so one way that you can do this is look at the alt Bitcoin pairing, okay? Because what you're doing is you're comparing the altcoin to Bitcoin in the performance. Like, for instance, if Ethereum is going up against Bitcoin, it's outperforming Bitcoin, and you'd rather be in Ethereum than Bitcoin. Same thing with Tezos and Link. If that chart is actually outperforming, that's a good thing. Now, you can certainly look at the USD chart. It's not going to tell you as well as far as the performance against Bitcoin, because for me, if altcoins are not outperforming Bitcoin, I'd rather be in Bitcoin, and I'll push some of that money into it. I do hold majority of my assets into Bitcoin, so I'm not too worried about it. And I do hold some altcoins such as Ethereum, Zcash, into Cred long-term regardless. I would love to get into Link and Tezos, but again, it needs to pull back. We'll look at the Tezos chart here in a minute. But you're going to notice here that Ethereum against Bitcoin bounced off this high volume node. So basically, this is acting as support. And now we're just kind of in between here. So Bitcoin, Ethereum can actually continue to outperform Bitcoin. And so I'm looking at charts that are showing potential to continue the performance against Bitcoin. I don't care about necessarily the USD value. If Bitcoin goes down, all pairs tend to go down, but how are they performing against Bitcoin? Because if they're performing better, you're not losing as much money, right? If Tezos is performing well, it's acted like a stable coin, then you're holding more money, you're sustaining the value that you have in your crypto assets right now. Honestly, I don't really foresee Ethereum going back down to this area. I mean, it might bounce off this channel, but this is where Ethereum has been against Bitcoin for a long time, right? So if it goes down in this channel, that's a bad thing. I think if it does fall here, it would bounce here and go back up. But I think that it can sustain here. I think Ethereum will continue to run well. There's a lot of hype and fundamentals around Ethereum right now. I know Bitcoin maximalists might not agree, but with that said, I think that there's some good things to be said about Ethereum. And then lastly, too, Tezos here. Tezos has been amazing, right? Has run up from last year around 30 to 40 cents. Recently, it went down as low, late 2019, as low as 80 cents. And then the staking rewards for Coinbase came out. It immediately popped from there. Did a little run up to close to $2, came back down in this area around 125, and we haven't seen it since then. So if you're looking to buy into Tezos specifically, I mean, you need to go to the 4-hour charts. And so where can Tezos pull back at? I mean, really, you want to see these areas. I do believe that there's potential, definitely easy potential for, 325. It's 365 here. I think that we can even do better than that. Of 280s to 289, I think if it drops below $3, it's a buy for many people. Now, again, depends on the market. If everything just tanks, then the USD value of Tezos is going to tank as well. I'm really looking right here. If we can get down to this area around the low $2, 218, 215, 220, that would be a really good buy, I think. Pending. Everything depends on the market. I can't speak in absolutes at all. Somebody told me today, you do say possibly an if quite a bit. I'm like, well, what do you want me to say? Because anybody who speaks in the market must do this, the market must do that, is lying. They don't know what they're talking about, and you should probably be very skeptical, because the only thing that we can do is give our analysis. Nothing is absolutes. Everything is possibilities, okay? So with that said, there's a great possibility that if it goes down to 215 to 218, then it's going to balance at that area. I don't think that it's going to get way down here. I just don't think it's going to get back down in the 150 range. Could it? Totally. If everything tanks, then yes. But I think if Bitcoin sustains itself in the 8 to 10,000 range, then we're going to see Tezos continue to do well, and it's going to only dip, I think, as low as low $2. Okay, so that's Tezos. That's the market overall. Watch Bitcoin dominance. Again, if it continues to go up, most altcoins are going to hurt outside of Link, Tezos, and Ethereum. There's a few other ones out there right now too. We are in a down channel with Bitcoin. We need to see it continue to move up over 9,800. Only until then will I be bullish for Bitcoin. So do me a favor, if you've not yet subscribed, go below, click subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. We'd love to put you in a $100 Bitcoin giveaway if you do that. Also, too, support the channel. Go to Phemex.trade, and that's going to allow you to have access. Anybody can access this. You don't need a VPN to one of the most promising derivatives exchanges out there, where you can short Bitcoin if the market's going down, or you can, of course, 2x long if you feel like Bitcoin's going to continue to go up. Again, we do have a lot of material out there for margin trading and education. Karen Clark is also going to put some more tutorials out here soon, possibly in the next few hours, for Phemex as far as the trading system and how to use that effectively. So again, we encourage you to check that out. High volume, up to 700 million volume per day as far as Bitcoin and crypto trading. So I am Josh. Hope you guys continue to be safe out there, trade effectively, have a great start to your weekend, and we'll see you guys soon.